Today topic is adrenal gland. Adrenal gland is also known as a suprarenal gland. Why it is called as a suprarenal gland? Suprarenal gland means this gland, adrenal gland, is situated at the top of the each kidney. That's why it is called as a suprarenal gland. Here the suprarenal gland or adrenal gland is also known as essential gland or life-saving gland. Why it is called as a life-saving gland or essential gland? Because this gland secretes hormones like aldosterone. Aldosterone hormone is a life-saving hormone. Same way, some of the cortisols, the hormone is also secreted in the adrenal gland. There is a cortical region of this gland. This cortisol is a life-protecting hormone. Life-protecting hormone. The same way, then the stress hormones like during the stress, during the fight or flight, in this case, the hormones like adrenaline may secrete. The adrenal glands are the two in number, one each situated on the upper wall of the kidney. It is about 3 centimeter in height, 2 to 3 centimeter in width, and 6 millimeter in thickness. There is a 1 centimeter in thickness. It weighs about 3.5 to 5 gram. From the picture, you can see the yellow golden colored structure at the top of the each kidney, that means right and left kidney. So that structure is called as a adrenal gland. Here the adrenal gland is made up of two distinct parts, that is called as a adrenal cortex, that is the outer portion that constitute 80% of the gland. Second one is the adrenal medulla. You can see that is the interior portion of the gland. Here the medulla is consisted of a group of columns or chromaffin cells that is separated by the wide venous sinusoids. They secrete the adrenaline and noradrenaline and dopamine. Then another, that is the outer structure, you can see there is a capsule is there. Each gland is surrounded by a capsule. From the picture you can see the capsule here. The capsule you can see. Then the cortex means it forms the main mass of the gland. Before that one, that is the adrenal gland is made up of two distinct parts, adrenal cortex and adrenal medulla. Adrenal medulla is the central portion constituting the 20% of the glands. Here these two parts are different because there is medulla secrete the different hormones and the adrenal cortex secrete the different hormones. The function is also different. Here that is functional histology of the adrenal cortex means adrenal cortex is consist of the main 3 cellular zones, that is called as a zone of glomerulosa. You can see the zone of glomerulosa, zone of fasciculata, zone of reticularis. These 3 zones, cellular present in the cortex region of the adrenal gland. Zona glomerulosa, it consists of a small polyhedral cells. These cells secrete the mineralocorticoids. Zona fasciculata, it consists of a larger polyhedral cells which containing the sinusoids between the cells of zona fasciculata. These region or cells secrete glucocorticoids hormones. The next region is zona reticularis. Zona reticularis, it is the inner zone. Its cells secrete the steroid hormone, that is androgens. These are there is a cortical structure. The two part of adrenal gland, that is the outer adrenal cortex, inner adrenal medulla. That means first we discuss about the adrenal medulla. Adrenal medulla is the inner region of the adrenal gland which constitute 20% of the adrenal gland. This adrenal medulla, it is made up of chromaffin cells. Chromaffin cells is also known as a pheochroma cells. Here the major hormones secreted from the adrenal medulla are: first one is the epinephrine or adrenaline, norepinephrine, noradrenaline, and dopamine. Out of these hormones, epinephrine or adrenaline is the predominant hormones. Here the dopamine is the precursors for the norepinephrine and epinephrine. These adrenaline, that means the hormone secreted from the adrenal gland, is also known as especially in the adrenal medulla, secreted hormone is known as catecholamines. Why it is called as catecholamines? Here the adrenal medullary hormones are amines derived from the catechol. Catechol means it is a dihydroxy benzene ring is in the structure. So that's why it is called as catecholamines. These catecholamines are epinephrine, norepinephrine, that is a noradrenaline. Here adrenal medulla is mainly formed by two type of chromaffin cells. The first one is the adrenaline secreting cells which constitute 19%. Second one is the noradrenaline secreting cells which constitute 10%. Here the synthesis of this adrenaline is occurs in the chromaffin cells. Thus this catecholamine is synthesized from the amino acids like that is tyrosine and phenylalanine. First phenylalanine, which is converted to tyrosine in the blood. This tyrosine is entered into the chromaffin cells. From the chromaffin cells, the tyrosine is converted as a dopa by the tyrosine hydroxylase. The dopa is converted as converted to, that is a dopamine, by the enzyme of the dopamine decarboxylase. This dopamine is entered into the granules because the chromaffin cells contain granules. This dopamine enter into the granules. From the granules, dopamine is converted to noradrenaline by the enzyme of dopamine hydroxylase. This that is noradrenaline released to the cytoplasm, then which converted to adrenaline. This is the way the dopamine is the precursors of the norepinephrine and epinephrine. Precursors in the sense it is the starting molecules of the noradrenaline and adrenaline. The half-life of this catecholamine is only the 2 minutes. Now we move to the metabolism of that is this catecholamines. 80% of the catecholamine, that is 80% of noradrenaline, is taken up by the sympathetic nerves or sympathetic nerves. Here remaining 50% of noradrenaline and adrenalines are degraded as a methoxylation of adrenaline into the meta-adrenaline. In the case of adrenaline, in the case of noradrenaline, it is converted as an noradrenaline to the meta-noradrenaline in the presence of the catechol or methyl transferase enzymes, that is a COMT. And meta-adrenaline or meta-noradrenaline oxidized to the vanillyl mandelic acids by the enzyme of MAO, that is a monoamino oxidase enzymes. There is a 50% of this adrenaline removed through the urine as such, and the 50% excreted in the conjugated form, and rest of the adrenaline is excreted in the form of the vanillyl mandelic acids. Now we discuss about the action of these catecholamines, especially noradrenaline and adrenaline. These noradrenaline and adrenaline have a similar effect. That is, the adrenaline act through the both alpha and beta receptor equally, but the noradrenaline act mainly through the alpha receptor, occasionally through the beta receptor only. But compared to the noradrenaline, the adrenaline have a longer action. That is the difference between the adrenaline and noradrenaline action. But the action is somewhat same in the case of the noradrenaline and adrenaline. The first effect of adrenaline is effect on cardiovascular system. This noradrenaline or adrenaline increase the heart rate, and there is a inotropic effect like a force of contraction of the heart, that is leading to this increased heart rate and force of contraction that lead to increase in the cardiac output, and that is the systolic blood pressure also. Then it also produces the vasoconstriction except the blood vessel in the skeletal muscles and liver, when their action cause the vasodilation. That means this most of the case noradrenaline produce a vasoconstriction in the blood vessels, but the blood vessels present in the skeletal muscles and liver that produce a vasodilation effect. The metabolic effect of the catecholamines, that is adrenaline and noradrenaline. Usually this noradrenaline adrenaline increase the glycogenolysis in the liver and muscles. Because of this increased glycogenolysis, that means the breakdown of the glycogen to glucose, that result the increase the blood sugar level. This hormone also decrease the insulin secretion. Another action of these hormones increase the free fatty acid mobilization by stimulating the lipase in adipose tissue and muscles, because the fats are stored in the adipose tissue. The lipase enzyme which degrade the lipid into the free fatty acids, so that free fatty acid content is increased. That means the mobilization, that is transfer of this free fatty acid into the blood. This provide the energy to the kidney and cardiac muscles. This hormone, another effect of this hormone is it increase the metabolic rate Next, how this hormone on central nervous system. Usually adrenaline increases the activity of a brain. That means it increases the cortical arousal because the action of this hormone increases in stress. The same time, that is during the flight or fight, this hormone secretion is increased. That means this hormone increase the anxieties, restlessness. What is a restlessness? Restlessness means inability to relax. That is restlessness. Then it increase the alertness. That is a response. That is nothing but the this hormone. That is amount is increased during the means in the fight or flight. That means when the stressful condition is there means this hormone that means to compensate the body mechanism, that means in order to overcome the particular situation, this hormone content will be more. In addition to the CNS action, in addition to cardiovascular action, in addition to the metabolic effects, this hormone also responsible for other actions like decrease the gastrointestinal motility, thereby it lead to the constipation, that is difficult to the defecation. Then it is relax the detrusor muscles and contract the urinary sphincter, cause the urinary continence. Then it stimulate the sweating, it produce the bronchodilation, that means act on the bronchioles, this bronchodilation is occur. Then this is responsible for the dilation of the pupil and relaxation of the ciliary muscles, that cause there is paralysis of accommodation, because accommodation means lens focus for the near vision, but paralysis of accommodation means here there is the eye, especially the lens focus for the distant vision. There is the ciliary muscle relaxation is that is one of the action of this hormone. Okay, then on that is this hormone act on the lacrimal gland, thereby increase the secretion of the tears. It is this hormone is also responsible for the increase the renin secretion, and this hormone that is also adrenaline cause the vasoconstriction of the salivary gland, that means leading the increases in the salivary secretions. Then these are the other effects, because these hormone have a different action on the smooth muscles. That means some smooth muscle that this hormone cause the contraction, some smooth muscles that cause the relaxation. Then this hormone cause relaxation of the smooth muscles like bronchioles, urinary bladder, gastrointestinal tract, especially in the esophagus and stomach and intestine. Then some that is the smooth muscles, this hormone cause the contraction, especially the gallbladder, uterus, and that is iris, etc. Here dopamine is the third hormone secreted by the adrenal medulla. Here the exact which cell secretes the dopamine is not known, but here the physiological action of the dopamine are not well defined. That means it produce this dopamine produce the inotropic effect, that is the force of contraction, effect on that is the heart, that is increasing the cardiac output, increase the systolic blood pressure, in some the excess level that cause the vasoconstriction. Here apart from the adrenal medulla, dopamine is also secreted by the dopaminergic neurons in the brain, especially in the basal ganglia, where it acts as a neurotransmitters. In kidney, here the dopamine causes the vasodilation and natriuresis. Natriuresis means that is the excess excretion of sodium in through the urine. That is natriuresis. That is also the effect of the dopamine in kidney. Then these are the effect of the dopamine. Now we move to the next section, that is the regulation of secretion of adrenal medulla. Here the secretion of the hormone from the adrenal medulla is controlled by, there is the two factors. There is the first one is the neural control factors. That means usually the medulla is supplied by the splanchnic nerves, which secrete the acetylcholine. This acetylcholine that stimulate the secretion of the catecholamines, that is adrenaline and noradrenaline. Another control is the sympathoadrenal medullary response. That means in the situations like in a fear, anxiety, there is angry, there is and injury, some bleeding, etc. In this condition, the situation, there is a sympathomimetic response may increase to compensate this condition, that is in the emergency conditions. So that may lead to the secretion of the medullary hormone, especially the adrenaline and noradrenaline. That is meant during the stress, that is it's called as a stress hormone, adrenaline, because during the stress this adrenaline secretion is more. That means sympathoadrenal medullary response. That is also during the sympathetic response in the emergency conditions like this anxiety, bleeding, injury, etc. that cause the increased secretion of the medullary hormone. We have discussed the hormones secreted by the adrenal medulla. Then sometime the tumorous condition of adrenal medulla is called as a pheochromocytoma. It is characterized by hypersecretion, that is increased secretion of the catecholamines. The symptoms of this pheochromocytoma are anxiety, hypertension, sweating, headache, blurred vision, etc. Because in this case, that means these all symptoms are the result of the hypersecretion of the catecholamine, because the catecholamine action is increase the setting, that is anxiety, hypertension, etc. because of the vasoconstriction, the hypertension. So these are the symptoms of pheochromocytoma. We have discussed the hormone secreted by the medullary part of the adrenal gland and the synthesis, then actions, and there is a regulatory mechanism involved in this gland, and the abnormal conditions also we discussed. Thank you for watching this video.